Hey, what's up, Helldivers? We're going to discuss the latest major order. We'll talk about how the Arrowhead developers are planning something interesting and how there's a new update coming very soon. And I'll also cover the future of Helldivers 2 and how Arrowhead is looking to expand their team further. Not only that, there's so much more to talk about. If you can do me a solid, be sure to tap the like button and the hype button below. With that said, let's jump in. Alrighty, divers, before we get in today's video, I'd like to start it off with a question. I want to know if you're having fun with Helldivers 2, and if you believe that the last two patches that just dropped recently have improved the game quite a lot, or if it hasn't. So yeah, drop a response right away and let me know in the comments. Anyway, we're going to discuss something strange the Arrowhead and their team are planning. There's a new bot on their Discord called Citizen Surveillance and Safety, as you can see here. The question is, what's the Discord bot for? Are we possibly going to see another ARG event in the future? Maybe? I don't know, but there's something strange going on for sure. I know plenty of divers, including myself, have noticed that Arrowhead's community manager and a support team member have a single eye on their Discord status. Not only that, Purple, one of their support team members, changed their Discord profile status, which says, December 2nd isn't real. Wake up, sheeple. Well, I'm not entirely sure what that means or what they're planning, though I have a feeling that on December 2nd, they're going to drop an update, and this Discord bot will be reacting to whatever news is going on, because as you know, the Arrowhead devs announced something cryptic on Tuesday, stating that they have plans on December 2nd, and to mark a fiery circle. So let's assume that the Illuminate are going to attack us, and if they do, will the developers be introducing new Illuminate enemies that we haven't seen before? I sure hope so. But let me know what you think about this. Also, I'd like to point out that not only will there be an announcement on December 2nd, but there will also be a brand new patch as well, which should introduce new content because Arrowhead's game director even talked about how they're going to drop updates roughly every 2 weeks. And what do you know, right here, December 2nd lands on Tuesday, which would be 2 weeks since the last update that dropped on November 18th. As you know, in the recent Arrowhead interview, they talked about how they're going to get back into creating content, so without a doubt, there will be a new patch coming up very soon on the 2nd, and I'll be sure to cover everything that you need to know. Continuing on, let's discuss Warbonds. It's been quite a long time since we've seen a new Warbond. In fact, it's been 80 days since the Dust Devils Warbond that was released on September 4th, 2 months ago. The trailer announcement for that Warbond was dropped on August 28th, and a week later, they released the major update called Into the Unjust, which was on September 2nd. So, with that in mind, we know the developers have hinted that there's something that's going to drop on December 2nd, which means if it's a major update, then we most certainly will see a new Warbond trailer before December 2nd. Based on recent history, they've done this before, like how I mentioned a few seconds ago that the Dust Devils Warbond and the update were released a week later after the Warbond announcement. Not to mention, the dates seem very similar. As you can tell right here, tell me if it doesn't. So if I had to bet my subscribers and money, I'd say a new Warbond is dropping very soon. Okay, since I brought up the new Helldivers 2 Discord bot, we have something that was mentioned in the latest major order success message. Here's what High Command wrote. The Helldivers have secured the resources needed to expand the Center for Citizen Surveillance and Safety. Thanks to their efforts, the Ministry of Unity will soon possess exciting new means by which to identify and hunt dissidents, a massive database to identify individuals at risk of disloyal thought, a facility to train uncover agents to monitor workplaces, mortar fields for loyalty intervention and enforcement squad training. Thousands of dissidents have been apprehended on Yellowver, Alta 5, and Deluvia. Proven the necessities of this undertaking, SEAF battalions have maintained order. Loyal citizens on those planets report high feelings of security. This is but one step towards fighting the scourge of dissidents. We will not rest until our freedom is safe and unified once more. Well, you can see how they brought up citizen surveillance and safety, if I recall correctly, right as this major order message was sent out. The new Discord bot appeared in the official Helldivers 2 Discord, and again, the whole situation is quite strange. Again, I'm sure there will be something on December 2nd, so keep your eyes on the next patch. Things are about to get interesting. Alright, so not only is there a major order success message, but we also have a brand new major order that dropped yesterday. Here's what High Command wrote. Incursions have been detected on all three fronts. The Helldivers are called to their immediate defense. Safe defensive garrisons are stretched thin by efforts to quell the dissonance crisis on Yellowver, Alta 5, and Deluvia. The enemy has taken advantage of the vulnerabilities that this created in our lines. This attack is clear evidence of the dire threat that posed by dissonance. Were it not for the dissonance, treacherous lapsus and fealty, the outer defenses would still stand strong. The enemy is rapidly gaining ground. The Helldivers must act quickly to deter this opportunistic attack. The determined assault is particularly aggressive. The Zentomology Center on turn is endangered. It is a site of a critical research and must be held. Helldivers hold back the tide of tyranny. Okay, so this one feels like a major order filler for sure, and you can correct me in the comments below if you feel differently. But this one seems like, hey, defend some plans, then we'll give you an actual major order, like, later on. At least, that's how I feel about it. This will potentially buy the devs time to continue creating their patch and figure out what the next major order will be about. I do think it's odd that there's three factions, the Illuminate, Automatons, and Terminids, and how they're currently attacking us. Usually it's only one or two factions, but never three together unless something special is about to happen. Not sure if we're going to see two factions on one planet, by the way, but I think it's going to get to that point eventually where we'll see two different factions on one planet. That's if they can update their engine further, right? There's some problems there, which we already know about, and they've talked about how they're in the process of updating their RAM or updating it so that the engine can handle RAM better, but that's mainly for like performance stuff, right? But hey, let me know your theories in the comments below about this whole situation. Moving along, we have news that the developers are looking to expand their team further. They've posted a new job position, which is a senior animator for Helldivers 2. The reason why I know it's for Helldivers 2 is, well, it's self-explanatory given that they have a Helldivers 2 thumbnail exactly right here. Nevertheless, they're looking for a senior animator who will have experience in rigging, scanning, and animations. They also want this person to participate in discussions as well as come up with ideas that'll involve animations and gameplay. They'll create physics implementations for assets like ragdolls, cloth, and damage zones. I like how they brought up cloth. Now, I'm speculating here, but I think they could potentially be giving us new outfits that have different cloth physics. Yet, I don't know. Again, I'm speculating here. So anyway, they're obviously going to expand their team further as far as we know. Of course, I don't think anyone got fired, so this could be the developers looking to increase their team size, and hopefully that's the case because they need it. If they had more team members to help with Helldivers 2 as well as their new game, I think things would be different for Helldivers 2 currently. The patches would probably be pushed out faster and better, and we would probably see content a lot more, right? Because they would have the team for that stuff. Next up, let's talk about the new name for Rourke Supreme. If you don't know, there was a voting thing that went on over on the official Helldivers 2 Discord, and a lot of players were up in arms about the whole idea of this planet, or, well, not planet, but the megacity being named Bernard. And I know a lot of people hated Bernard, and, well, it seems you guys won. And that's great, because I probably shouldn't have voted for Bernard. And I'm telling you guys, it was an instant vote. I just said, screw it, I don't care, I'll just choose something random. And nevertheless, the developers, or better yet, Arrowhead, announced that the new name is New York Supreme, as you can see right here. So thankfully it's that instead of Bernard, because man, I made a mistake. And I get it, you guys are right. I shouldn't have voted for it. But, you know, it was random. With all the information out of the way, I just want to briefly talk about this because Helldivers 2 is in a grim spot, guys. I mean, the player count is pretty low on Steam. I think the total on Helldivers 2 currently is like 50,000 altogether with like Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam players. And things are just continuously going down and down and down, and hopefully this next update will bring back a good portion of the players. That's what I'm hoping for. But if it's a terrible patch and things just go south and there's a bunch of crashes and game-breaking bugs, then I think that's gonna just deter a lot of players, right? A lot of players are just gonna be disappointed and they'll probably not come back. So The thing is, I don't know if Arrowhead is actually going to be able to completely get rid of the crashes, because I know it's a frequent thing that they're working on and they'll continue to work on. As you can tell from their notes here in the known issues, I've talked about it before in the past. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are about the future. I asked it earlier in the video, so let me know in the comments, but those are my thoughts about it. Hopefully things will get better. Lastly, let's go over the top comments first from the Baldric that said, changes to storm and status effects. Can we get the status to affect enemies again? Was fighting bots in a sandstorm, couldn't see a thing, but bots were still shooting at us from long range. This right here is absolutely on point. How come it's not affecting them? I mean, acid storms do, so sandstorms should too. The second top comment is by Jack of Spades that wrote, nah, putting Helldivers up for best community support is crazy. No Man's Sky deserves it, will probably get the win. And I agree, I completely agree. I think No Man's Sky definitely deserves it by far. They've that whole entire team has done a complete turnaround since it launched. The third and final top comment is by Ethan that spoke about how it's strange that, Super Earth can travel at faster than light, but they can't figure out how to basically maintain projectile velocity, right? More than 20 meters. And yeah, you're not wrong. More so the developers, right? Anyways, those are the top comments. Hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, consider tapping the thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications, and all that great stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.